past year I got the chance to work on a film set, which was really fun for me, but it's not the first time I'd actually been on a film set. Years ago in 1988, I was from this town called Hickory, but my dad worked in Statesville, and he just started his job at the post office in downtown Statesville, North Carolina. And also at this time, they started filming this movie called The Ryan White Story. And it was such a big deal at the time because the whole town was really excited that they would be hosting this movie. And they would be filming downtown on Broad Street and some of the federal buildings, the courthouses and everything. And my dad worked in the post office, a federal building, and the upstairs was a courthouse, and then the downstairs was the post office, which was working during the day. And so they were filming at this time, and then on the Broad Street and up the street near Mitchell Community College, which was some old courthouse buildings. So my mom and myself wanted to go see the filming, and one day we went to visit my dad at work and brought him some lunch, and we were trying to see what was going on, and I was looking for the actor Lukas Haas, which was in the film playing Ryan White, and I didn't see him that day. There was some trucks outside my dad's where he worked at the post office, but I didn't see anything, and they had the courthouse area closed for filming, so I never saw anybody, actors or anything. So me and my mother and I were disappointed, so we went home. But also my dad at this time would go to this diner every morning to eat breakfast, and he didn't really know a lot of actors, although he did know George C. Scott. And but when he went to this diner, he would talk to this fellow every morning, chatting about the news of the day and just regular chit chat. And so later in the week, my dad didn't know who this fellow was, but one of the waitresses finally told him that's the actor Peter Scolari. It was on Newhart at the time. And so I was a big fan of the show at that time, Newhart, and also this other show that I grew up watching with he and Tom Hanks in this comedy show. So I was a big fan of Peter Scolari, basically. And I didn't know this till later, but Peter Scolari was a director of TV shows as well. And he did direct one episode of Newhart and also another TV show, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And also he was on Broadway as the Wizard of Oz in the Broadway musical Wicked, which is one of my favorite musicals as well. So recently I got the chance to rewatch the movie, and it was such an important movie at the time because it talked about the Ryan White story and the AIDS epidemic, and Ryan White wanting to go to school and winning the court case to go to school. So it was I remember such a big deal. The whole town of Statesville was so, excited about it. And I never got to see the actors myself, but my dad got to have breakfast with Peter Scolari. And so sadly, Peter Scolari died a few years back. And so now when I see him on film or TV, I recognize him as one of my dad's breakfast friends from the diner that he went to every day. So I have that now to think about. And he was such a talented fellow, and as well as the other actors. I know for sure my dad must have walked right past George C. Scott, since he was filming in the courthouse right above where my dad was working. Courthouse scenes during that time. So my dad may have passed him on the street, because I know when you watch the movie, I watched it recent, that you see Broad Street in Statesville very clearly, and the buildings right in front of the post office where my dad worked. So I'm sure he passed him right on the street at one point. But my dad's favorite movie was Patton, so I thought that was interesting as well. I mean, I never got to see the actors in the movie. I wish I had, but I think it was cool that my dad had breakfast with Peter Scolari. So anyway, I thought it was such a neat story that my dad got to talk with him. But if you have any favorite actors or films from some of these actors in the movie, just post them in the comments.